Welcome beyond the veil. You are listening to Moonlight and Ironwood. If you want to skip the wait and download the full audiobook right now, the link is in the description. Now, take a deep breath. The mist is rising. Stay downwind. We'll get some blockers from the apothecary in the city, the shady one that doesn't ask for ID. You can hide the scent until you figure out what to do. Hide it? I looked at her. For how long? Forever? For now, Mia said, squeezing my hand. Until you can stop shaking. If Jackie smells the mate bond on you today, well, we won't have to worry about school because there won't be a you left to graduate. My wolf growled at the mention of Jackie, a low rumble that vibrated in my throat. It was possessive, angry. He is ours. She repeated, louder this time. Sister or no sister. I closed my eyes, resting my head against the cool metal of the stall divider. I'm screwed, I whispered. Totally, Nia agreed. But I've got your back. Now, let's fix your mascara. You look like a raccoon that just got dumped. We skipped fourth period. It was unprecedented for me. Journey the good girl, Journey the ghost. But walking into a classroom where Aiden might be sitting felt like walking into a buzzsaw. Instead, we drove Nia's beat-up Honda Civic into the city, away from Packlands. The apothecary was nestled in a narrow alleyway between a Starbucks and a laundromat, the kind of place humans walked past without seeing. The bell chimed as we entered. The air smelled of dried sage, sulfur, and something metallic. Blockers, Nia said to the woman behind the counter. She was an old witch with purple-dyed hair and hands covered in silver rings. High grade, beta strength. The witch peered over her glasses at me. She took a deep breath, her nostrils flaring. Beta strength? Honey, you're practically glowing. You just presented, didn't you? I flinched. Is it that obvious? To anyone with a nose, the witch grunted. She reached under the counter and pulled out a small, amber glass bottle. This will mask the mate scent. It won't stop the pull, and it won't stop the heat. But to everyone else, you'll smell like dryer sheets and vanilla. Totally neutral. Perfect, I said, slapping a $20 bill on the counter. I'll take it. It only lasts 4 hours, she warned. Apply liberally. I sprayed myself in the car before we even left the alley. The mist was cold and smelled synthetic, cloying and sweet. I hate it, my wolf complained. It covers him. It covers us. It keeps us alive, I retorted mentally. By the time I got home, it was nearly 5. I tried to sneak up the stairs, but luck was not on my side. Journey, is that you? My mother's voice called from the kitchen. She sounded frantic. Get down here, please, and put on something nice. I froze on the second step. Why? Alpha Stone and Aiden are coming for dinner, she said, bustling into the hallway with a serving platter. It's a last-minute strategy meeting for the border patrols, and your father invited them to stay. My stomach dropped through the floor. Aiden. Here. In my house. I have a headache, I lied. Maybe I should just stay in my room. Nonsense, Mom said, not even looking up. It's rude to hide. Besides, Jackie is so excited. She wants everything perfect. Go change. That sweater has cat hair on it. I dragged myself up the stairs, my heart pounding a frantic rhythm against my ribs. See him? My wolf asked, perking up. Mate is coming here? No, I told her firmly. The alpha son is coming here to date my sister. You need to stay quiet. I showered, scrubbing my skin until it felt raw, then doused myself in another layer of the blocker spray. I put on a simple navy dress that fell to my knees, Boring, safe, invisible. When the doorbell rang, I nearly jumped out of my skin. From the top of the stairs, I heard the deep rumble of male voices, my father's hearty laugh, Alpha Stone's commanding baritone, and then a smoother, younger voice that made the fine hairs on my arms stand up. "Thank you for having us, Beta." Aiden. I took a deep breath. Vanilla. Dryer sheets. Vanilla. Dryer sheets. I walked down the stairs. They were gathered in the living room. Jackie was already there, of course, wearing a red dress that looked painted on, clinging to Aiden's arm like a second skin. Aiden looked devastatingly handsome in a dark button-down shirt, his sleeves rolled up to reveal muscular forearms. When I entered the room, the conversation lulled. "Ah, Journey," my father said, smiling. "Come say hello." I kept my eyes on the floor, avoiding Aiden's gaze. "Good evening, Alpha Stone." "Hi, Aiden." "Journey," Alpha Stone nodded politely. "Hey," Aiden said. I risked a glance. He was looking at me again with that same furrowed brow he'd had at school. He tilted his head slightly, his nostrils flaring. He took a subtle breath in. I held mine. His expression went blank. The confusion vanished, replaced by a dull disinterest. He didn't smell the mate bond. He smelled vanilla and synthetic lies. It worked. "Dinner is served," Mom announced from the dining room. The meal was torture. I sat across from them, Aiden and Jackie, side by side. Every time Aiden reached for the water pitcher, his scent wafted over the table, that intoxicating mix of pine and rain, and my wolf howled inside my head, scratching at the walls of my mind. "Mine," she growled. Why is the female touching him? Bite her. Absolutely not, I thought, gripping my fork so hard it bent slightly. "So," Alpha Stone said, cutting into a steak. "Jackie, Aiden tells me you two are thinking about the solstice ball. It's a big night for the pack." Jackie beamed, resting her hand on Aiden's thigh. I watched the movement, feeling a spike of jealousy so sharp it made me nauseous. "Yes, Alpha," Jackie purred. "We're coordinating colors. It's going to be our first official event as, well, you know." "As the future alpha pair," my father finished proudly. "It's a good match. Strong bloodlines on both sides." Aiden shifted in his seat. He looked uncomfortable, or maybe just bored. "Journey," Aiden said suddenly. My head snapped up. Everyone looked at me. "Yes?" "You weren't in calc 4th period," he said. His gray eyes bored into mine. "Mr. Henderson marked you absent." I froze. Why was he paying attention to my attendance? I wasn't feeling well," I stammered. "I went to the nurse." "Funny," Aiden murmured, leaning back. "I saw Nia leaving the parking lot." "Aiden, leave her alone," Jackie laughed, swatting his arm playfully. "Journey cuts class sometimes. She's a rebel in disguise, right, Jay?" She winked at me, but her eyes were cold. A warning. Don't embrace the attention. "Right," I whispered. "Just a rebel." "Well," Alpha Stone said, wiping his mouth. "Speaking of bloodlines, Journey, any sign of your wolf yet? You're 18 now. Getting a bit late in the game, isn't it?" The table went silent. It was the question I dreaded most. I felt the blocker spray sticky on my skin. I felt my wolf pacing, desperate to break free and claim the boy sitting across from me. I looked at Aiden, who was watching me with an intensity that made my skin prickle. "No, Alpha," I lied, looking him dead in the eye. "No sign at all. I think I might just be dormant." Aiden's eyes narrowed. For a split second, I thought he saw through me. I thought he saw the lie. But then he looked away, reaching for Jackie's hand. "That's a shame," Aiden said coolly. "A wolf is a terrible thing to waste." My heart broke a little in my chest. He doesn't know, I realized. He really doesn't know. And as long as I kept lying, he never would.
Chapter 3. The Slip. The lie was expensive. Not just the $20 for the spray, but the physical toll. The blockers were like a heavy wool blanket wrapped around my soul, suffocating my wolf. By the time I walked into school the next morning, I had a migraine that pulsed behind my left eye like a strobe light. "You look awful," Nia noted helpfully as we changed for gym class. "Thanks. I feel like I licked a battery," I muttered, pulling my gym shirt over my head. It was grey, baggy and unflattering, my armour of choice. "Did you reapply?" "In the car, and before I left the house, and once in the bathroom just now. I smell like a vanilla factory exploded." Nia sniffed me. "You smell like fear and synthetic flowers, but no wolf." "Good." We walked out into the gymnasium. It was a massive space with polished wood floors and banners of past pack victories hanging from the rafters. Coach Miller, a burly beta with a whistle permanently fused to his neck, was already shouting. "All right, mutts, line up. Today is dodgeball, shirts versus skins. And by skins, I mean the shifted athletes who think they're too cool for laundry." I groaned. Dodgeball was bad enough for humans. For werewolves with enhanced strength and reflexes, it was basically gladiatorial combat. Usually the unshifted or dormant kids like me were allowed to hide in the back, picking off stray balls while the alphas and betas decimated each other. I scanned the room. Jackie wasn't in this class, thank the moon, but her clone was. Chloe, a high-ranking beta female with platinum blonde hair and a mean streak a mile wide. She was stretching near the centre line. She saw me and smirked, tapping a red rubber ball against her hip. And then I saw him. Aiden. He wasn't in the class, but he was sitting on the bleachers with a few other senior football players. He was leaning forward, elbows on his knees, watching the court. Watching us. "Mate is watching," my wolf whispered, waking up from her drug-induced stupor. "Show him." "Show him what? How to die by rubber ball?" I shot back. "Go back to sleep." Coach Miller blew the whistle. "Play!" Chaos erupted. Balls flew through the air with the velocity of cannonballs. I did my usual routine. I ran to the back corner near the bleachers and tried to look invisible. For 10 minutes it worked. The stronger wolves took each other out. The Omegas got eliminated quickly. It came down to a few aggressive players on the other team, led by Chloe, and a handful of us on my side. "Hey, potato!" Chloe yelled over the noise. I looked up just in time to see her winding up. She wasn't aiming for my legs to get me out. She was aiming for my head. It was a violation of the rules, but Coach Miller was looking the other way. Chloe threw the ball. It wasn't a playful toss. It was a missile. A normal human couldn't have dodged it. A dormant wolf shouldn't have been able to react in time. But I wasn't dormant anymore. As the red blur hurtled toward my face, the world seemed to tilt. Time turned into molasses. I saw the rotation of the ball. I heard the intake of breath from Nia, who was on the sidelines. I smelled the rubber and the sweat and the aggression. My migraine vanished, replaced by a surge of pure electric adrenaline. "Protect," my wolf snarled. Without a conscious thought, my hand shot up. Thwack! The sound echoed through the gym, sharp and loud. I blinked. The world sped back up. I was standing in a crouch, my arm extended, and in my hand, caught inches from my nose, was the red rubber ball. The gym went silent. Chloe's jaw dropped.
Coach Miller stopped blowing his whistle. Even the boys on the bleachers went quiet. Catching a ball thrown by a ranked beta wasn't impossible. But for me? For Journey the slow, Journey the soft, Journey the late bloomer? It was physically impossible. My fingers were digging into the rubber so hard, I thought it might pop. "You're out," I whispered, my voice carrying in the sudden silence. Chloe stared at me, her face flushing red with embarrassment and confusion. She stomped off the court. "Journey?" Nia's voice was high and panicked. I dropped the ball as if it were on fire. Lucky catch," I stammered, backing away. "Just a reflex." I looked up at the bleachers. Aiden was standing up. He wasn't laughing or cheering with his friends. He was staring right at me, his body rigid. His eyes were wide, calculating. He had seen the speed. He had seen the shift in my stance. He knew. "Bathroom!" I yelled to Coach Miller, not waiting for permission. I turned and ran out of the gym, my heart thundering against my ribs like a trapped bird. "Good job," I told my wolf bitterly. "You just painted a target on our back." "Mate saw," she purred, sounding smug. "Mate is impressed."
The shadows are lengthening. That is the end of this chapter.
Can't wait to see what happens next. You don't have to. Download the full, uninterrupted story right now at the link below. Otherwise, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next chapter. Sweet nightmares.